Okay, hello. This is Aimee McCallum, who is me, and I am interviewing HUBCAP Gallery. And we have Stuart, Calum, Brooke, and Vera. And yeah, I will be asking questions and then they'll be answering as a group, or maybe darting about whoever fancies answer the question. So we'll start with a little intro. I'll let someone, whoever wants to, do a little bit of an intro for HUBCAP.
Right, I'll go.
Go on.
So HUBCAP started in 2019 after Alan, our tutor, gave us the opportunity to use the old shop space in the Granton campus hub, hence HUBCAP. And yeah, we had our first exhibition just as a CAP course group, and from there we invited different artists, beginning with Samantha Dick, and then had a fundraiser event, and then after lockdown started doing remote artist takeovers a bit more. I had a commission with artist Natasha Ruona. This is our second committee. Like, some of us have been here from the start, and then some others are newer. And this is the end of our second year.
Nice. Okay, and I have also studied contemporary art practice, as all of these lovely humans are studying or have. And I got to do an Instagram takeover with them where I did a lot. I shared my work, I did some life drawing events, some life modeling events, and lots of other goodness. So that's how I've been involved with HUBCAP. So yeah, let's get to the questions, because I want to know some. I think this is a good one to start off with. I think this experience of you doing this gallery and like running it is such a good experience to have at this stage, and it really I think contemporary art practice, the course, does benefit you a lot at university anyway, but having this like extra bit of running the gallery I think would really benefit you for going to university or just being a artist in the real world. So I wanted you to maybe expand a bit on that and tell us what you've learned running the gallery and how you think it might benefit you in the future.
I'll go first. HUBCAP's been amazing in that sense. I think we've all learned so much. I think that for me, the most important thing for me has been learning how to like share responsibility with other people, which is something I guess I've not really done much of. I'm quite an independent worker, so it's been challenging for me, but really interesting and really amazing to be like learning and working with my peers. And I guess I've also learned just how much work goes into something like this and any sort of artist run spaces, and that sort of prepared me for thinking about going forward and doing my own thing or joining other sort of committees. It's no sort of light task. I think everyone would agree. That's the main things I've learned, amongst lots of other amazing skills, but maybe someone else will touch on those.
Yeah, no, I think it's been nice because I think everybody brings something else to the sort of committee. Like everybody's got their own little strength in a different area, and it's nice to like bounce off each other. And I think I've learned a lot more like from other people, which has been really, really good. And I think it's definitely put me outside my comfort zone. Like when we done the Instagram takeovers and we would do the Q&As at the end of the week, I wouldn't have the confidence to interview somebody one-on-one, never mind go live on social media. So yeah, no, it's been, I've loved it. It's been a really, yeah, good confidence booster.
How about you, Vera?
Well, for me, the experience has been all online, and I have to say that has been incredible how much has been good for me to be in a group, because there were periods where without the help of the other people, it would have been a bit difficult. So I think this is a great lesson to always think in a group dynamic. And in general, also recently I've been thinking that a little lesson that I think I need to develop and work on is how to think about the well-being of the group, and how to be sure that everyone is comfortable, because teamwork is incredible, is amazing. And another thing is that I think I've learned that artists don't bite. And then people that I would be absolutely intimidating to go talk to at degree shows are really nice and approachable human beings that are happy to talk about their art. So yeah, I think that's what I've learned.
Nice. Calum?
Yeah, well, I agree with everything that's been said, but kind of, I suppose I've learned, I mean, I kind of forget how much I've learned, but it seems like a lot of the stuff that we've done was like all kind of in the boring, like preparation, like all the kind of boring details type stuff, like the preparation and organization is just like really important for getting things happening. Which at points where like if you were nervous about doing something, it actually kind of helped, because you just kind of, you realize that the success of something depended on how much you prepared for it or how much you organized beforehand. So yeah, kind of like the Q&As and stuff, they would usually go a lot smoother if you'd kind of just got everything sorted, questions, had your meetings with the artists and stuff. So yeah, all that kind of stuff really helps things go smoothly.
Nice. It's nice to, I think it's really great that you have something to work like towards as a team, because I think often in art education it's very much like focus on your own artwork and you don't really get to collaborate and stuff like that. So it's great that you have that option to work together as a team and sort of collaborate on something. Yeah, I'm not very good at just like swiftly moving on to the next question because I kind of forget what I've wrote down, but we shall move on. What is the importance of artist-run spaces, specifically early career artists, and what do you think it can bring that large galleries can't? Quite a big question.
I feel like, I suppose, like large galleries, they maybe have they're a bit more restricted in terms of, or maybe they're not as open to different perspectives on things as artist-run spaces might be, or like non-profit organizations. So I suppose it gives whoever's involved a bit more freedom and maybe more of a control of like the ethics of things. But then at the same time, being non-profit and artist-run can make things a bit more difficult in terms of like paying artists like what they should be paid. But I suppose a lot of big companies have the same issue. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I suppose it gives a platform as well for early career artists, which is good, and experience and kind of a bit of there's maybe a bit more of a connection between the people that are running the gallery and the people that are like starting out as like with their art careers, in terms of like they're both learning as they go. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has other thoughts.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said, Calum. I think the having that autonomy as a group and being able to make our own decisions, and like we don't have a board or anything at the moment, or it's all very much in-house, like ad hoc, like, you know, and I think that, yeah, so I just lost what I was going to say.
Don't worry.
Yeah, like small grassroots artist run spaces, I think, are very important, and they allow, yeah, people to come together in ways that the institution doesn't necessarily allow all the time, whether that's yeah, that's all I've got to say.
That was great. Did Stuart or Vera have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think just on the top of what Brooke and Calum said, I think it's the possibility to have this kind of, you know, color, spontaneity and freshness of people who just come out of college and with work that maybe is not completely refined in terms of high, not high standard, but like highly commercial or highly institutionalized galleries. And it's good to see, you know, all these things that are just on the edge also what's happening in society, and also the creativity that we got. Like, look, for example, at your takeover, there was workshop, and yeah, the creativity that this brings, having people just out, just, you know, just out of college. It's like all the freedom that you get out of that.
Definitely. It's I was going to say something too, now it's whoosh, away. Do you have anything to add, Stuart?
Yeah, but no, it's nice to sort of capture, like sort of everybody else has said, sort of the early stages, the sort of rough, well, not rough and ready, but in a sense, kind of rough and ready, and just, yeah, it's a lovely, I think we can tailor it a lot more to the sort of, not to say that big artists like galleries can't tailor it, but yeah, I think we can have sort of spontaneous events just like within a week's notice that bigger places maybe put a lot more planning, and there's a lot more things that have to happen before an event happens. But yeah, no, we're quite, yeah, I hope that makes sense. I don't really think it did.
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. I think it's, oh my God, it's gone again. Ah! Man, that'll come to me. Oh, I was going to say it's good that there's so much more freedom, I feel, in artist run space, because you're nothing's really gonna fall back on you if you do something a little bit taboo. So it's nice that you get to the artists and yous get to be spontaneous and explore all these themes that are taboo in like the general public or whatever. Yeah. I was going off of what Vera was saying about only experiencing HUBCAP as a online gallery. I wondered if you could expand a little bit maybe on how the pandemic has affected HUBCAP and maybe what it's gained from it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, of course, one of the first things is that I haven't met, basically, I think, Brooke I think I never talked with you in person. I think the other ones between last year and the event on the was it the Red Room, the Red Bar? I think I spoke to a couple of people. See, I remember, but yeah, so a sort of change in the interpersonal relationship, of course. Lots of I think the fact that we didn't have the possibility to meet, of course, took a lot off in terms of, you know, how you can expose art, how you can get people around art, and the events that you can do for fundraising, which I think is something that HUBCAP really was successful in the first year. But I think on the good side, I think what I can see is a good organization. If things were not working with a good organization online, you know, it would not be possible. So I think it really maybe helps us understand, you know, the different passages, having the document online, sharing the documents, being sure that everyone has seen them and communicated them, because we are not just catching up on things during a coffee break. So, you know, I think improvement on communication could be one. But I haven't seen before. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the communication aspect has been really important, and what you said, Vera, about artists not biting, like that sort of the online world sort of weirdly sort of breaks down that barrier between contacting people, because everyone's doing it and it's just the norm now. So yeah, it's been interesting working online. Definitely, it's been really nice to sort of learn new skills and learn that way of working. But yeah, it's been challenging as well. Because yeah, everyone's usually in college 5 days a week, and it's like we can meet every day if we want, but you know, it's different when you're at home and in your own space, and everyone might be having different days, and someone's having a good day and someone's not, and like trying to get together and stuff. It's been challenging. Yeah, don't know, what about you guys, Calum and Stuart?
Yeah, no, I think organisation and sort of keeping is up to date with each other and sort of keeping communication flowing. Even, you know, if you're having a bad day, just say, oh, I'm not sort of feeling 100 today, has been like a really important thing. But it's been a complete contrast to how myself, Brooke and Calum experienced the HUBCAP last year, and hopefully Vera and potential like committee members can experience what we experienced in the space next year. But yeah, it's been nice in a sense to see both sides of sort of pre-COVID and sort of during COVID. But yeah, communication's definitely been a big one, and it's been nice to experience online events and trying to stay like active within the art community and art world.
Yeah, and I think it's like moving online also helped with something like social media wasn't something we were that good at making use of before lockdown happened, but then we had to use it. So it's widened our audience quite a bit. But yeah, like I think also Zoom, it can be quite like a convenient way to meet, and maybe we probably wouldn't have used it before lockdown, but I think it can also be like kind of draining because you don't get the entire like social benefit of being with other people, but then you still get some of like the anxiety of like having to attend a meeting. So it's like a bit of a, yeah, sometimes it was a bit difficult, but I think also at the start of lockdown, it was good to have HUBCAP as something to kind of structure things a bit as well, because I wasn't working. So yeah, I don't know, it gave the week a bit of structure, things to do.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that there's some benefits that you have gained from from what's been happening in the world. But yeah, I think your Instagram's really flourished, and I think it'll help you to keep that going, but also when things are able to be in the physical, and it'll you'll be able to have a little bit more balance in that way, I think, because sometimes it is really hard to like teach yourself how to market on social media, and it is exciting how many people that you wouldn't have met otherwise can see it, but it will be excited to get back to seeing everybody in person and having that good vibe of opening an exhibition or a workshop or whatever it ends up being. Yes, I'm excited to see what you do, no matter where it is. But I was wanting to know what your favourite events were, whether they were in the physical or digitally.
I think personally, I don't think there's been an event that I haven't enjoyed. I think going from our sort of opening first off event, just showing off some of our own work, to our first fundraiser, which I think we all thought wasn't really going to be that successful, but had a big turnout in the end. Which, yeah, it was organising, musicians and stuff to come along and play for us. To Jen Uson's ABZ collection, that we had some workshops in the space, and it was a nice way for people to come in and interact with artwork and make their own to add to the collection. And then, yeah, I think as well, I've really enjoyed the takeovers and getting to see, for example, yourself, Aimee, sort of in like a working artist and in their sort of daily life of what they're doing, and interviewing yourself and things like that. Yeah, it's been really, really, really good. It's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, I've enjoyed them all as well. I think each one has taught us something different. I think like working with all of the artists and seeing how they work in their practice has been really informative. I think for me, what a standout for me was Natasha Rawona's work, which was HUBCAP's first ever commissioned work, which was really exciting. I think that for me was just really interesting, being able to go through all of Natasha's research and learn lots of all these new things and like terms that I hadn't heard of, and just that like educational side for me. And like, yeah, but you get that from every artist, it's like you can compare it to your own work, and we're all practicing artists here, so it's really amazing to be inspired in that way. But yeah, everyone's engagement and involvement has been amazing. Yeah, and yours, of course, Aimee, special mention. Was really enjoyable, and I really enjoyed all of the Q&As and stuff from like doing those. And yeah.
Yeah, I think my favorite of last year was probably the We Red Bar, just because, yeah, I was worried for like the week before.
Oh yeah.
Like how many people would turn up, because I think we were pretty low from like with a week to go, and I don't know, I think we just had like a push for just like messaging people like individually, like trying to get them and all their friends to come. So yeah, it turned out pretty well. Also, it felt like an event that I would never really have put on. I don't know, music doesn't seem like that's my area, or like, I don't know, putting on gigs and stuff. I didn't think that that's something that we'd be doing with HUBCAP either. But I think, yeah, Natasha's thing as well, because I felt like a lot of work and planning went into it. And because we had to do it remotely, it was pretty rewarding by the end of the screening, which went really well. Yeah, and yeah, of course, your I wasn't at your life modeling class, but I remember that, I don't know if anyone else here was, but the people on the committee last year said it was amazing.
Nice. What about you, Vera?
I think Yes, the live music event, even if it wasn't HUBCAP, was one of my favorites. It was nice also because tutors came in, so it was this nice moment. But I think also because it's a good way, in my opinion, to get in contact with just the soil of Edinburgh, because I think one of the good things of a gallery is taking some things and bringing them out. So even if it wasn't about art, it was, fundraising about music. I think that's a very good, link, having the possibility to really, expand yourself and reach people. And in this sense, also the commission with, the commissions that we had this year online, I think it was, it was very good. I was also very topical because of the Black Lives Matters movement, and because I think that we needed to have a conversation on immigration as well, and art related to that. So I think there was lots of opportunities for us as well to get contents out there. Sorry, I'm a bit I'm a bit, how do you say, I'm just saying words randomly, I think, at this point. So Natasha was great, and also I think the only takeover that I managed to kind of organize, I would say, because I made a research on artists, and the guys helped me getting more responsibilities on it. I think that was very good, because you get to talk about things that you're really interested with artists that are equally passionate, and this can inform your practice so much. That's just amazing. So
yeah, you did great. These are all talking really well. Don't worry. But yeah, love hearing your favorite events, and the wee red bar was a great night, as well as I love Samantha Dick's work, so that was also a great opening and show, and I'm excited to see everything that you do.
What do you think?
What was that? What's my favorite?
I was just wondering what Stuart's thoughts.
Oh,
sorry.
Stuart.
Yeah, no, I've spoken.
Yeah, Stuart said, what did you say again?
It was about, I think, the zine fair,
yes,
fundraiser, and then the Q&A, like Instagram lives and things like that.
Add this part on the end.
Right, we might lose Stuart soon, but maybe we'll get a little buy-in, like a goodbye. But I'll keep going. I would like to know how you want HUBCAP to develop.
I think it would be nice, obviously with COVID out of the way, hopefully very soon, to do sort of more sort of involved, like do some involvement activities with sort of either the local sort of community within Granton where we're based, whether that's doing some sort of mural sort of with involvement from like the local like schools or high schools and things, or some sort of site-based activities around Edinburgh, where we might be there for like a day or 2 days or something, and just sort of getting passers-by to get involved. I think something like that would be really nice, and I think a nice way to sort of get back to some sort of normality, obviously with COVID and sort of social distancing and all that, if possible.
Yeah, I agree. I think that when HUBCAP first started, we'd sort of always thought a lot about its location and where we were, and the fact that we were operating out of an FE college rather than a uni or anything else. I think it was always sort of our plan to involve the local and wider community in some way. So I think for me anyway, I'd love to see HUBCAP sort of branch out into that and working with communities and young people and anyone who wants to get involved, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well. Trying to think about like where we are a bit more maybe, and not become just like a place for, I don't know, like a kind of, I feel like contemporary art galleries could, they can a lot of the time just be like kind of, you know, satellites from the center of something like city centers, and just kind of maybe not, well, maybe that's unfair in a lot of contemporary art spaces, but yeah, something to think about and keep doing. And I think also thinking like, continuing to think about the kinds of like experiences and voices that we have, like working with us and like giving platform to, make sure that we think about like, I don't know, trying to be as inclusive as we can. And yeah, I think educating ourselves as well, maybe putting together like a resource before this committee ends for future committees to like read through. Yeah.
And I actually am very happy about what all said, especially Stuart. I think that the fact that we are in Granton, it's something that can be considered as precious, because as we know many times from the places that are outside the glamorous center of a city, there is lots coming on in terms of creativity and needs of expression. So I absolutely agree with that. Having an involve the community of Granton would be amazing, and also keeping, as you all guys said, keeping this gallery as a way to connect with the community, the different creative communities, especially because I think both me and Tammy, with the other committee who couldn't make it today, we are both pretty interested in socially engaged art. So I think that would be very good to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think everything you said sounds amazing, and I could definitely see you doing things that allow for accessibility to everybody, and not just people who understand the art language and all that stuff. Yeah. I'd also love to hear, I love this question. I'd love for you to say how you'd, maybe like an event, or how you'd like to see HUBCAP develop if you had no limits. There was no COVID, no money problems, and you could do whatever you want. Maybe Stuart should go first, because you'll need to leave soon.
Yeah. So I think it would be nice to be able to, if we had no budget requirements or issues, to be able to get a bigger space, to be able to host our own gigs and things within it, and do more workshops, and have facilities for artists to like come and like work in the space, and for viewers to interact while they're making artwork. Yeah, I think an art hub almost, which links into the name HUBCAP pretty well. I think that would be really, really nice. Yeah, just as a way to sort of get people that maybe don't necessarily think, oh, I don't really understand art, or think I should be in the art community, to sort of say, well, no, you can be. Yeah, I think that would be lovely. But I'm sadly going to have to leave now.
Yes. Thank you for all your answers.
No, thank you. It's been a lovely experience, and a nice way to sort of reflect on the past 2 years. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, Stuart.
Bye.
Okay, who's next for this answer?
I can talk. I can talk. Oh my god, I'm so shy in front of the camera. Anyway, so yeah, I think the space, it's an amazing point because really it's about having more possibilities. Also, having an archive, for example, would be nice. So a place when you can access material about the past exhibition would be very good. And I just imagined, like I was talking about this with Calum yesterday, I just imagined like a nice, I don't know if you're gonna say this as well, Calum, a nice festival on Granton Beach with lots of artists and installation and something related to the community of Granton. And yeah, I think also paying someone else for the social media bits, because that's a bit boring.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just pay everyone to do all the admin, IT. That would be good. We'll start there.
Yes, you'll be able to pay them fairly too.
Yeah, exactly. Pay them up and beyond, you know. But yeah, I'm also thinking like HUBCAP on tour. Be good to like have some research trips and be able to afford to go and see more art. And also in terms of engaging with the community and different communities as well. Like, you can imagine like some sort of traveling gallery type thing where, you know, we could go to different places around UK or Europe that might be in sort of similar socioeconomic situations, different areas, and sort of passing on that baton and like going into further education colleges and letting them see what we've done and how much it's benefited everyone, and sort of just making everything bigger and better would be amazing. More money, please.
What about you, Calum?
Yeah, I was going to say something like a big festival, but maybe we could combine that with Stuart's idea and just buy the Granton Gasworks and could turn that into HUBCAP Central.
Yeah.
No, it's like inside, but
figure that out later.
Yeah.
No limits here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Probably that.
Yeah. I think this is a great question because although these things may feel or see unimaginable, I think there's a lot of things that you could do from what you've said. Even just now, although it's mainly like time and effort that I think restricts us, as well as money, obviously. But yeah, that is... Would you like another question? But I think that's quite a good one to end on.